national champion and team captain for the Alabama Crimson Tide, and former Carolina Panther, and his father, Corey Miller, the pastor of pain, a 9-year NFL veteran with a new.
What up, everybody? Hope you're doing well here on a Wednesday. We call it the Hump Day. We call it the Rush Around the SEC Day. We'll be talking about some basketball, maybe some football as well. Hope you're doing good. We're halfway through the work week, and we're going to keep things rolling right here on the Miller's Edge, right on the Tide 100.9. 12:30 a.m. WTBC. Don't forget to download that free app, Tide 100.9. It's absolutely free, and you can send your thoughts, comments, questions right there. Roll Tide to you, Sam, on our YouTube. Extra good to see you each and every single day. God bless you. Don't forget to join. You sit in your office, you want to see us, see our pretty smiles and pretty faces. You can do that on our YouTube Extra. We stream it live right here on the YouTube app, and love for you to get there in that conversation. Always some great conversation. Folks that listen to our show on YouTube, we appreciate you as well. Here's the number, 205-342-9904. That's what you do. We want to call in and get in line, on the line. Give that number a call, or you can, like I said, hit us up on Tide 100.9 as well. So we've got numerous avenues for you to join and be a part of the show. Christian Miller in Tuscaloosa, and today the extraordinaire Justin Jones is on the mic. He's on the, what do you call it, the board. He's doing his thing. He's not working out today, but I'm sure he still has this oversized sweatshirt and slides on as he produces the show. Justin, what's up, man?
Look, you're right about one of the things. I definitely have my sweatshirt and my slides on, but the gym is just pushed back a little bit later. We're still going.
So I got 2 out of 3. That's 67%, 66.7.
Look at you with the math.
I mean, because you got the slides on.
It's pretty good.
Listen, man.
That's pretty good. Pretty good math. Are you?
Despite what people talk about, dumb jocks. I was a scholar athlete, by the way. They need to give some money to scholar athletes too. You know, we'll talk about the NIL. I know you're going to get into some of that and the potential changes and all that good stuff. But they should give money to guys they're getting it done in the classroom. Like I was 2 years scholar athlete. And we had a little wall. We had the scholar athletes. I made it 2 years in a row. Then I took a vacation.
Were you the scholar athlete, or was somebody else doing the work for you?
Man, please, I did my own work.
I'm just making sure. I mean, look, some people they have lady friends.
Somebody would have did it for me. If I had, I ain't even gonna lie. Like your mom and I had 1 or 2 sociology classes together. She kind of did all the prep work. I ain't gonna lie about that. I'd be lying if I said. But I took the test and just passed it with flying colors, sir. But I mean, listen, it's all about as Nick Saban would say, keep the main thing. The main thing.
I think they actually do something kind of like what you're describing now. I don't know if it's actually them receiving incentives for their grades versus I know Alabama has in the past deducted for guys missing class, or I don't know if it's necessarily failing, but I do know they have used some of that NIL money to deduct from these guys and almost kind of, I guess, I hate to say like punish them. You know what I mean? Like that was one of the forms of disciplinary action now that there's NIL was taking money away from them. I thought that's kind of smart. I mean, in the NFL, you get fined, right? If you're late for a meeting in the NFL, you get fined a couple $1,000s. And so I think that's one way to get guys to go to class. Now, I do agree. I think an incentive for like grades, you get an A on the test, a $100 bonus, stuff like that. It'd be kind of cool. I think guys want to, work a little bit harder in the classroom. Not that they aren't already, but.
No doubt. I mean, it's called incentives, right? It's called incentives. You give these young kids incentives to make money not just off the course with the name, image, and likeness, which you give them incentive even in the classroom. If you stay up above 3.0, hey, shoot them some cheese, give them some money. All right, doing this show, I do want to talk about here in this first segment. How about them Gamecocks? How about the South Carolina men's basketball team getting it done on the road? They sang that song, Good Old Rocky Top. Woo!
Why do you always roll the R?
I mean,
Rocky Top. Spanish.
Well, I got a little Spanish in me, but I was giving a little shine by saying Rocky Top. But South Carolina, Lamont Paris, the Gamecock men's basketball team, went in last night on that hill in Rocky Top in Knoxville, ranked top 10. I mean, the top 25 just came out. No South Carolina, still on the outside looking in. And what did they do? They went to Rocky Top on the road, backs against the wall, a top 10 team, and get the dub over Tennessee. Now, I don't know who's doing the top 25, but here's a message for you. You're ignorant, you're dumb, and you're stupid if you haven't watched South Carolina men's basketball play. And if you don't think they're a top 25 team, there's something's wrong with you. All right? They beat Kentucky at home. Not just beat Kentucky, but they blasted Kentucky. I believe it was by 7. And yes, there was a court storm. Then they went on the road and got another top 10 win. So you're talking about 2 top 10 wins. You got issues. You're not very smart, and/or you don't watch college basketball, because these dudes play some defense. They get after you, and by the way, they make shots. I mean, critical times in that game, especially in the fourth quarter, they knock down threes. Even without their leading scorer, Michi not really playing his best offensively the last couple of ball games, but he is cool. I love his humility. He stays in the game. He doesn't get frustrated. He dribble, drive, penetrate, dishes out, boom, 3-point play. Listen, Lamont Paris, our head coach, second year in the program, was at UT Chattanooga. People were complaining. People were talking about, hey, why y'all are hiring this guy? They threw out the guy from Arizona. Everybody looked for the big name. And we make it equate this to Kalen DeBoer, now the head coach of Alabama. But I told my good friend of mine who works for the team, Kerry Rich, who's a special assistant to the head coach, that this guy could coach. And boy, is he proving it this year. Now, everybody's on the train now because they see the train is moving. 18-3, man, coach of the year in the SEC, potentially coach of the year nationally. And if I'm Ray Tanner, the athletics director of South Carolina, I was speaking to a company yesterday, and I believe this, you have to be a forward-thinking person. And if I'm Ray Tanner, I know that Blue Bloods, there's going to be job openings available. And I can tell you right now that Lamont Paris, the head coach of South Carolina, is going to be a name that's going to be in the minds and the hearts of people saying, hey, let's pay this man because he can coach. Let's give him some more talent. We got more money. We can do more things. We can give him better players, right? So that's going to happen because right now, Lamont Paris is the lowest man on the totem pole in the SEC. But he beat probably the highest paid coach in John Calipari. He probably the top 2-3 paid coach in the conference, went on the road to Tennessee and got it done. So kudos to South Carolina Gamecocks men's basketball team. And if you don't think they're a top 25 team, you're sick or dead. That's the bottom line. And because these dudes play some defense. I know Alabama, we are Alabama station, but we broadcast all over. People listen all over. The first half of that game, their defense was lights out against Alabama. And they got a run, and they start balling out and got the dub over South Carolina. But this is a team, if healthy, stay healthy, continue to win games, continue to get to the tournament. I think they might be a projected 6th seed now in the NCAA tournament. That's phenomenal. Now you got to keep doing it, because it's a what have you done for me lately league in sports. You know that, right? So you got to keep things going. But I like Lamont Paris. I like the University of South Carolina's men's basketball team. And let me finish with this, Christian. I'll turn it to you. Who's better? What basketball program in the country is better than the University of South Carolina? We're number 1 in women's basketball. We should be ranked in the top 25, like 15, 16, in my opinion, in men's basketball. We took care of LSU, who lost again, by the way, Mississippi State, I believe. Women's basketball. Dawn State is doing her thing. lost every starter off that. It's unheard of. Lost every starter. Returns no starters this year. And what are they? Number one in the country and undefeated. Let's just be real about that. You got to give love where love is warranted. This is South Carolina is a basketball school. We're a basketball school. Watch out. I'm telling you right now, these two programs, these two coaches, and how about this? Is there a team in the country besides HBCU that has Division I Christian that has two African American coaches, women's basketball, men's basketball, doing the things they're doing? Shout out to Ray Tanner and folks at South Carolina. I think that's pretty special.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really look at color when I look at hirings, but I mean, I'm sure you could look it up. That's all good. I'll be honest with you. I heard what you said. I'm happy for him.
Don't start hating.
I'm not hating. I'm just, look, as an Alabama guy, all I can think of when I hear South Carolina men's basketball is them coming to Tuscaloosa and Coleman Coliseum getting beat down 74-47. So that might be part of the reason why they're not ranked in top 25.
Who has better wins? Alabama don't have better wins than South Carolina in basketball.
They got a big win over Auburn.
I love NATO. I'm a NATO's fan.
Look. You can have the basketball. I care more about football. I'm just saying, like, kudos.
See, there you go. That's what you saw these folks up at Clemson.
It's not
now all of a sudden they don't care about any other sport but football.
No. I support our basketball team, and look, I'm just telling you. I'm not. I mean, look, they're ranked. They're not ranked. All that really matters in college basketball is what you do in March, right? Getting into the tournament, and then what you do from there. I mean, if we're being honest with you, so I'm sure the way they're playing, if they keep playing that way, they'll get their bid and they'll play in the tournament. And we'll see what they do from there. Look. This is
negative.
How is it? Oh, so now you know how. Now you know how it sounds when somebody kind of
You don't want to negative.
I'm not being negative. I'm just like, what do you call it? You call it being real.
Light them up. You're too. Light them up.
Nope.
Negative.
No, that's not negative. That's
negative nasty.
Did we not beat y'all 74-47?
Yeah, I talked about that.
First half, and you could do all these great things now, but say you lost 3, 4, 5 games in a row and you don't get a bid to March. Does any of that good stuff you did matter? So everything I'm saying is fact. Just like you like to say, you like keeping it real. That's all I'm doing. I'm just.
That's real talk.
I'm keeping it real.
I mean, Alabama beat them down. They had a horrible second half.
No, Alabama basketball.
But they about to turn things around, and they've had 2 top 10 wins in a week.
That's huge. No, I do give them credit.
Yeah, but you take away by that, but Alabama, that's taken away from them.
Oh, so what do you call it? What you do every time we try to say something good about the hiring?
But y'all are hypothetically talking about when a coach is going to be this, we ain't done something. This is actual. This is evidence. It's in the books. These 2 top 10 wins, they're in the books.
No, he was awarded Coach of the Year, and you go, the Pac-12,
but what has he done in the SEC?
See,
he ain't done nothing in the SEC yet.
No, not yet. I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
No, I know. Look, like I said, just like you like to give us a hard time, I got to give you a hard time because it's crazy how when in South Carolina you come in here glazing all the coaches, the program. Y'all just won a championship, but with other stuff, I got to keep it real. So just keep it real. We beat y'all down when you came to Coleman.
Sam was on here early. Sam said, "Shout out to the University of South Carolina." We as Alabama fans, we hate this. It's static.
No, I'm with y'all.
I mean,
but if
you want to talk about that same team that beat Alabama like they stole some Doritos from the local gas station around the corner from your house.
Yeah, they did. They did. That's basketball for you, though. You know what I mean? Basketball, you can lose on any given day. I mean, you see good programs go down all the time. So that's why I said March. We'll see when March comes. March is when it really gets real.
Go ahead and break. We come back. We'd love to hear from you. What do you think about the South Carolina win? Is Lamont Paris the new dude on the block, new kid on the block in the SEC for this basketball? What do you rank him compared to Nick Oates? Those two programs. One thing South Carolina does play defense. Alabama leads their defense. Some of them, Tuscaloosa probably down there off by the Stillman College. Because they don't play good defense.
Hey, real quick, you mentioned coaches. That's a great segue. They came out with the ranking. Again, I don't know who's ranking this is, but on 3 posts. This is all for fun. So I definitely want to talk about it. Let me put this in y'all's ear. They came out with the top 10 college football head coaches. Kirby Smart, number 1. Number
Ding, ding,
two,
ding.
yeah, right. I think everybody knew that. Number 2, Ryan Kelly. And then I'll say 3 and 4 when we come back. But take a guess who you might think would be in that 3 spot. Talk about
Lane
that when we come back. We'll see.
It better be Lane Kiffin in there. And I know who better not be in there.
Oh, God. We'll see.
We're at a break. And if somebody listens is K and D, if they in that, we getting ready to light 2 up. We'll be back in a moment.
On the next
What's going on, everybody? You guys know the drill. Per usual, make sure you like the video. We'd appreciate that. Hope everybody's doing well. I don't know if you guys saw this this rankings that I found on Twitter. Like I said, it's just on 3 or something random, something fun to talk about. I'm sure you guys can probably guess who number 3 is, though. I do think it's an interesting list. My dad's guess was Lane Kiffin. You might be a little disappointed when we come back. Not gonna lie to you. See what we have here. Sam, what's going on? Vance, let me see. You said, do you think there's any connection between Grubb being on the supposed list of potentials for offensive coordinator last year and now him and DeBoer coming to Tuscaloosa? I mean, honestly, I guess there could be some type of connection, but I think that really boils down to Greg Byrne. He's the main guy responsible for the hiring process of any coach here. He claimed that Coach DeBoer has been on his radar for quite some time now. So I think that probably had precedence over anything else. But I think it was a bonus that the offensive coordinator, Coach Grubb, is highly respected and a guy that even Coach Saban wanted to bring with him. So I think you throw that in the equation as well. So, yeah, I think there is probably that connection. But I don't think they hired Coach DeBoer just because they wanted the offensive coordinator. I think that was probably a bonus. But that's just my take on that. Defense is Alabama needs to be consistent. South Carolina's looking good. Has to do it. Let's see tournament time. Yeah, I agree. If we can just get our defense consistent, and I mean, we've been shooting lights out recently, so we can keep that up, man. We're playing some really good basketball right now. What's up, Joey? Happy hump day, Dr. Crystal. All right, here we go.
What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? That's what we say here in the country. Means what's up? How you doing? No, don't know what's going on. Translation there for you. This goes ahead to Tide 100.9 free download for you to ask your questions, comments, thoughts. You can do that on Tide 100.9 and AMW. We appreciate all the love that we're getting on YouTube. Now we're down in Myrtle Beach yesterday. This is down on the coast of South Carolina. Never get a chance. Opportunity to find when we get down. All down the coast of South Carolina, the most beautiful area in the country.
Myrtle Beach. Yeah. Myrtle Beach is the most beautiful place in the country.
I said the coast of South Carolina.
Oh,
so Myrtle. You got Myrtle
Beach. It over Charleston.
Yeah, it's called the coast of South Carolina. Myrtle Beach, Polly's Island, where our beach house is. You go straight down 17 right there. You got Myrtle Beach.
So you're saying Beach. Collectively, I got you. I thought you were saying Myrtle Beach. I guess it's because my generation, when we talk about Myrtle, we call it dirty Myrtle. If you coming
to my generation and coming through Myrtle Beach, when in the spring, it's, oh boy.
Yeah, Myrtle Beach is a lot different now. But they call it dirty Myrtle for a reason now.
Well, you can tell, but they would have called it dirty Myrtle back then too. When I was going to them clubs and the spring break, all the football players would go to the club down there on spring break. My God, you talking about fun. Boy, thank you, Lord Jesus, for forgiveness, because I got a lot to repent of.
All
right. I already did repent, though, by the way.
Good.
All right, here's your top 10 college football. I'm going to let you take, because I I'm ready to light YouTube up. I ain't even looking.
Here it goes. No, I shared it on our YouTube stream. That way everybody can see what the list says, and that way you can read it. So, as I said before we went to break, Kirby Smart, they got it number 1. And again, this is on 3 posts. It says per Jesse. The text is too small for me. Simonton. Again, no offense, respectfully, I don't know who he is, but just
who?
And I don't know who he is. This is for fun. All right, here we go. Kirby Smart. This is his list, I'm assuming. Kirby Smart, number 1. Brian Kelly, number 2. Number 3, Kalen DeBoer, Alabama football head coach. Number 4, Ryan Day. Number 5, Steve Sarkisian. Number 6, Dabo Swinney. Number 7, Mike Norvell. Number 8, Kyle, is it Whittingham? Sorry, can't really see. Number 9, Lincoln Riley. And number 10, your guy, Lane Kiffin. Your thoughts?
First of all, there's no doubt about number 1. Kirby Smart's the best college football coach there is going right now. I am shocked at 2.
Me too.
I mean, Brian Kelly is a good football coach, and you cannot deny what he's been a very, very good coach.
Yep.
Winning 10 games and plus at Notre Dame, but he hasn't cashed in anything, no championships. He haven't done anything like that. I mean, he won the SEC West, last year, beating Alabama 2 years ago, beating Alabama at home and then getting beat down by Georgia in the SEC championship. So you give him nothing for that. All right. So it is, Dr. Christian said, it is laughable. It is absolutely hysterical to say that Brian Kelly is number 2. Number 3 is laughable as well. It's absolutely laughable. And whoever did this list, you need your card taken. And I know it's just hypothetical, right? Kalen DeBoer is not the 3rd best coach in the country. I mean, sorry, Alabama fans. He's not. Is he a great coach? Yes. He won the Pac-12. Okay, give him a slow clap. Just like many of you, if we're being real, if he wouldn't have been here at Alabama, you would have given Kalen DeBoer nothing. You would have gave him the slow golf clap and make a little 3 clap. Right? You would have given him that. There's no way you can put Kalen DeBoer at number 3. I don't agree with that. I put Ryan Day at number 2. Ryan Day, his record, say what you want about losing to Michigan the last 3. I get all of that. But what he has done at Ohio State, his record says everything. Now, has he won? No. But his record at Ohio State, the OHIO, to me, Ryan Day will be number 2. Sark is up there. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not a Clipper fan. But Dabo Swinney has won 2 national championships, just like Kirby. Now, they haven't been the same team the last 2 years, right? 2 years ago, they won the SEC championship. I mean, they still won 9 games. They likely fell off the cliff. I mean, yeah, standards, yes. But how can you put Kalen DeBoer in front of Dabo Swinney? So I'm not with that. I would put Kyle Whittingham. I don't know if you watch a lot of Utah football, man. Kyle Whittingham is one of the best. He's top 5 for me. Riley, he did nothing. He left Oklahoma, went to Southern California. He ain't really did anything. I'm fine with him there. But the biggest problem I got, how in the heck do you got Lane Kiffin at number 2? I mean, you might not like him. You could say, somebody say, oh, you better hide your wife and your daughters if Lane come around. Ooh. Say what you want. But the man can coach some football. He's changed his life, and you need to operate in some grace, by the way. Undeserved, unmerited favor for those that want to know what that means. But this man can coach football. He's not the 10th best coach. He's higher than that. So I know what we're going to focus on. If you think Kalen DeBoer is not the 3rd best coach in the country, which many will because you got fandom radio going on right now, fine. But Ryan Day, to me, is number 2. I put Dabo Swinney at number 3. I put Lane Kiffin at number 4. I got Steve I gotta put Kalen in front of Steve because he's beat him. And a name that's not on here, Christian, that should be on here. Lincoln Riley shouldn't be on here. Dan Lanning of Oregon should be a top 5 coach.
Top 5.
Yeah. And now you're gonna say, what's the name? I know where you're gonna go. I think he's a better coach. That's just me. But I got Kalen DeBoer somewhere around 7 through 10.
Wait, but you said you'd have to have him above Steve Sarkisian, so that don't really.
I got
C
somewhere in there, but
yeah, about that. You got a little mixed up right there. All right, but
I mean, here's my point. I really put Sark in front of him, and I'll tell you why. Because he's done it a lot longer. It never mattered. I mean, Kalen DeBoer is. I mean, he is that new girl, right? You know, hey, you got your girl, you got the prom, you got the club, and you know what I mean. You got the girl that's just been consistent that you've been seeing for years at the club. She looks good, you know. She got dressed nice, you know. She's very manicured, everything. Nails good, toes look good. But then here comes the Kalen DeBoer. Fine. Head turner.
Pause.
But the thing is, they ain't done it that long. They ain't been around that long. That's kind of how I look at the situation. I think great potential. Great potential. You can't just jump up from people like DeBoer, somebody like him or not. Yeah, DeBoer's besides Alabama, in the last decade, he was one of those coaches. I'm the GOAT Nick Saban. DeBoer freaking good. What you want? You beat the GOAT twice.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing
with you on that. You can't have DeBoer that far down.
I think if you're going off of who established themselves, right? That's what I'm saying. I think you gotta be a little more precise on how you want to rank this, right? Is it off of potential, like up and comers, guys who kind of are trending right now, or are you going off of past success? If you're just going off of just overall everything collectively, I do agree with it. DeBoer needs to be up there, right? You can't take away him and his success winning 2 national championships, which he beat 2 of the teams that I was on, right? National championships. Ryan Day, hadn't necessarily been able to get it done in the postseason, but very consistent, good football coach. I agree with those up there. And honestly, these lists are so hard. Now, I'm not mad at the coach. I think that what he was able to do with that Washington team, they had some good players, but I wouldn't say the roster was really as talented as some of the others that are on here, right? Georgia. I understand that, but they still, they beat Oregon twice. They did well in the postseason, other than Michigan. I'm just saying.
Pac-12.
I agree. The Pac-12 has not been impressive, but Oregon has, been a better football team. And look, all I'm saying is I definitely think he's top 5. It's just hard when you start getting all these other coaches' names.
Well, when we come back, let me put your list. I did not. Okay. Let's see what you got. Let's do a break. Come back. You the rest of this conversation, 205 349 James Green said, "Wouldn't even know who Kalen DeBoer was." That's what I was saying. Alabama, and the fact he got the championship, but yet he was still people did not know who Kalen DeBoer was. This is really. I do think he's going to be really good at Alabama. That's my positive. We're back in a moment.
What are your guys' thoughts on that? Audio's going in and out. Yeah, sometimes I think it might be the connection, guys. But I'll try to make sure I keep working on it. What are your thoughts on that? What are y'all's list? Give me y'all's top 5. If you take the 10 coaches that are on that list, what are y'all's top 5 right now? See, I just have a hard time because if you're going off of, coaches that are established, they've been doing it on a consistent basis, them actually winning national championships, or are you going off of kind of trending right now? That's where it's tough. If you're talking about just trending right now, I'm not in too much disagreement of that list, right? Other than Brian Kelly at 2, I don't like that. I would probably at least swap. I'd probably put Brian Kelly. Yes, this is tough, man. Let me hurry up and get this figured out. Rick says What are you pointing at? You want me to bring it back? Okay. Rick's got Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, Sark, DeBoer, Kiffin. I like that list. That's probably about where I'm at, honestly. How is Dan Lanning a better coach than DeBoer? Is Lanning not 0-3 against DeBoer? That's a good point. And welcome back into the Miller's Edge right here on Tide 100.9, 12:30 a.m. WTBC. We're talking about the top 10 college football head coaches according to this list that I'm looking at. Again, this is posted on three, so not necessarily sure who is Jesse Simonton, I guess. But anyway, so it's my turn to give mine, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of struggling with this. I hate doing rankings. It's always so difficult to come up with this. But to me, obviously, Kirby Smart, you got to go number one. I don't think anybody would argue that. Brian Kelly's got to go for number two. I don't like that. I don't know where this guy came up with that. Let's see. Two, I would probably say Ryan Day or Dabo, maybe. If we're just talking about people that, again, I just can't. I know Dabo right now is not trending in the right direction, at least in my opinion, but you can't argue what he's done. So I'd probably go Ryan Day, Dabo Swinney, those guys kind of alternating between 2 and 3. I would have Kalen DeBoer in the top 5 just because I think he's trending right now, and I do believe that he can do some good stuff. I know he's still got to establish himself, but I'd probably have him behind those guys. So I guess I'd put him at about 4, maybe. Then that's where it gets tough because then I got honestly Sark and Lane kind of in that same. I would go Sark then Lane, but then I'll leave it at that. So I went Kirby, Ryan Day / Dabo Swinney for 2 and 3. Number 4, I went Kalen DeBoer, and then 5. Dang, am I missing it? I don't know. I'm probably messing up. But then I know I had Sark and Lane somewhere around there. Anyway, I wanted to bring that up just because I saw that on Twitter and I thought it was interesting. It'd make for some good conversation. But a lot of people are kind of in similar positions. I see, obviously, everybody's got Kirby at number 1. Ryan Day is arguably number 2 on everybody's list that I'm reading right now. And then Coach DeBoer is typically falling between 3 and 4. So, yeah, I would say that's about right. I still have Coach DeBoer in the top 5, but I'd probably put him at 4 or 5 right now. Just because I still think, he's still, establishing himself. Because, look, to be fair, people might think it's harsh, but I don't think you're wrong. I remember when we first hired Coach DeBoer, a lot of people were even saying that they didn't necessarily hear about him until he was hired, which is fine. Your name doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's about what you do. It's about how you perform. And when it comes to performance, he's done a great job of that, right? So with that being said, I'm expecting big things out of him. He's definitely got his work cut out for him. But I would say, look, man, going to Washington and turning that program around in 2 years, I know it's the Pac-12, but still, though, to me, that's impressive to lead your team to be undefeated, playing a national championship football game in the second year at that program. I respect that. So I definitely got to have him in the top 5 for sure. But anyway, I knew you'd get I get a reaction out of you with that list, so I had to throw it at you.
See, I've been good, and I know you want to. Steve said Kelly is at 8th. I don't disagree with that. Willie Beeman says Smart, Sark, DeBoer, Kelly, and then Ryan Day. Interesting.
Yeah.
You had him at top. You just said top 5.
Yeah, I said top 5 because just real quick, Kirby Smart, I think Ryan Day or Dabo for 2 and 3. I'd probably say Ryan Day, then Dabo, and then. But see, that don't even feel right because I feel like if you've won multiple national championships, you have to be higher. You know what I mean? Even though I just
it matters.
You have to
longevity matters,
right? That's what I'm saying. So, and I almost would probably put that's too tough. I don't forget this list. It's too hard for me. Anyway, those guys 2 and 3. Then I said 4. I'd probably have DeBoer. Then 5, I would say Sark, and then 6, Lane Kiffin. So that's how I would do it. I think that's very fair. I think that's very fair. It's like I said. I mean, I could go back and forth. Like Ryan Day's a heck of a football coach, so consistent. But in those big games, he kind of gets cold feet, right? I mean, struggles to beat Michigan. They get in the playoffs, don't necessarily really have success there. I mean, they gave Georgia a run for their money. If Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't get hurt, they probably could have beat Georgia that game, right?
I mean, Ryan Day is potentially on the hot seat this season.
That's true. So that's true.
How can you be on the hot seat, man? The man's lost like 6 games.
I wouldn't necessarily say a hot seat, but I think they are kind of like, bro, that's like if
somebody. I know he's 0-3 the last 3 years against
the rival, right? That's big.
And he lost to the interim coach, Sharon Moore, I think, this season. But there is absolutely no way. I mean, if you put a coach on I understand the theory here, right? Because of the championships at Ohio State, it's really kind of like Alabama. It's championship or bust.
Right.
I mean, say what you want, but that's what it is. But, you know, you have to, one, give Dabo the credit that he deserves. I'm a South Carolina alum. I don't like Clemson. We're rivals. But I have to give respect where respect is due. He's won 2 national championships. Now, I've been a proponent saying how bad the ACC has been, even when he won it. But still, he came in and he beat Nick Saban. Got to give him that.
I agree.
The one off the list will be Lincoln Riley. I mean, if you're looking for up and coming, you got to talk about Mike Norvell of Florida State. You got to say, hey, this guy has done a great job. They won the ACC championship. His team went undefeated. You can say they got snubbed from being in the college football playoffs. You can do all of that. And you know, say what you want. I mean, they shouldn't have been a top 4 team without the starting quarterback. You know, Jordan Travis, you got to be honest with that. They weren't the same team. And there's a clause that says if you minus players, you know what, they take that into consideration. That is a data point. But if you're looking at up and coming, Mike Norvell's name is going to be in that. You can't deny what Steve Sarkisian has done at Texas, turning that program around. He's been at Washington. He's been at Alabama as an OC. I mean, he's had great success. So you got to give him credit. Again, I look at longevity probably more important than others.
Right.
You know, because I think, you know, a couple of years, you won one conference championship in 2 years at Washington, or they won back-to-back. Was it back-to-back they won Pac-12?
I'm not sure. But still, though, your second year, you win a conference championship and you
when you go to the national championship game, you got to give Kalen DeBoer that credit. But again, I'm just on the whole deal about, okay, I know you got your staff together. I know what you're doing. I think you can be successful. But you're coming behind Nick Saban. You got a lot of question marks. It's easy to look at what somebody did at NAIA and say everywhere he's been, he's won. I get the theory. I get the thinking behind all of that. But at the same time, we all know that's been covering this sport for a long time. It is not just that easy, right? You just don't show up because what you did somewhere else, like it's just going to translate at Alabama. Alabama is a different place, first of all, right? You're in the SEC. You don't have any divisions. You got a tough schedule. You got people leaving. You got to figure things out, right? There's a lot of things there. Now, do we hope that Kalen DeBoer can turn things around? Absolutely. But I'm a realist. I know it's going to be hard. I don't care what he did at Washington. Okay? Because we look at the Pac-12, we look at it and go, it was competitive, right? Oregon, Dan Lanning's team was good. I mean, they were the favorite to win it. Bo Nix coming back for a senior year. They had dudes back, and they lost. Kalen DeBoer beat him, so you got to give him credit for that. The other guy, Kyle Whittingham in Utah, you know, they couldn't get this starting quarterback back, but this team played football the right way, great defense. I mean, they didn't have their recruiting was always down. They probably wasn't even a top 20 team that recruited, but well coached, very sound playing football. They're in the Pac-12. So we look at Washington, you look at Oregon, Southern Cal was a team everybody thought, you know, last year with Caleb Williams and all that good stuff, but they faltered down the stretch. He didn't play well this season. He came back. He didn't play well, former Heisman Trophy winner. So Southern Cal, we would call them down, right? They didn't play any defense. Oregon was a new darling. They couldn't get it done. So who else did we going to see and go in the Pac-12? Oregon State was okay with DJ Uiagalelei. was decent. They weren't great. So that's what I'm saying. Do you look at the Pac-12 as some type of juggernaut?
I mean, nobody would say they're a juggernaut by any means, but I'm just saying, I mean, they had some decent football. I mean, Oregon went bad. I mean, they beat Oregon twice, but you can also, to me, I'm not just looking at what they did in the Pac-12, but when they faced Texas, they beat them, right? So I understand. I consider all that stuff. I mean, like I just brought this up because I knew it would be
That's good conversation.
a good conversation.
Day,
I mean, look, there's a lot of people that I'm. If you look at the guys on Twitter, they kind of have Coach DeBoer kind of 5 to 6 area, which I think is, if you're going off of,
I'm not mad about him being 5 or 6.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. But I agree with you that Lanning definitely.
He's not number 3. I tell you that he's not.
I had him at
not.
I think 4 through 6 is respectable. And I think that's fair. Given that you've got 2 national championship winning head coaches on there, they got to be in the top 3. And then Ryan Day, that's why I said I think Coach DeBoer about number 4 is where I'd put him. Then I've got Steve Sarkisian and those guys. But you got to throw Dan Lanning on that list. I think it's kind of criminal. I would say replace Lincoln Riley with Dan Lanning. If I had to pick one.
Yeah. Take Brian Kelly out there and punt it. You know? Punt Brian Kelly out in the top 10. All right, we're at the break. Come back 205-342 down the 4 100.9. 12:30 a.m. WTBC. Let me get some calls and calls. Don't forget to download that free app. We take questions right there as well. I got some interesting things that we want to talk about in our round 2. We got one more segment here. And number 1, we'll be right back.
So Chris has Hugh Freeze's number 1. You might be an Auburn fan if I had to guess. X's and O's wise, Hugh Freeze is a good football coach, but no way you have him at number 1. Unless you were going backwards and you had him at number 5. Chris, maybe that's what that was. Let's see. Hugh Freeze ain't one crap. Well, I mean, to be fair, he beat us at Alabama 2 years in a row, so I got to pay respect to him. Let me hear how this sounds.
In the economy, Shield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses.
Yeah, Jonathan, I was in the Senior Bowl. I couldn't play because I tore my hamstring against Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl, and still was recovering from that. So, give Matt Rule some love. I wouldn't put him up there right now. Rick, I played with the Panthers for a few years and then got into doing broadcasting. My dad played for the Giants 8 years, then the Vikings won. Yeah, no, I mean, that's fair, Jonathan. I'm just saying, I mean, if you beat Nick Saban in Alabama 2 years in a row, man, you're not some scrub football coach, right? I mean, maybe if it was 1 year a fluke, but, back-to-back years, I mean, you got to give him respect. I'm not going to judge him of his off-field stuff, but as a football coach, I do know, man, he's a bright mind, really in good X's and O's guys offensively. So I got to give him his respect there because, like I said, I mean, my redshirt year in 2014, then my freshman year in 2015, he beat us. So I don't know if I don't know where I'd rank him, but I'm just saying he's definitely a good football coach. USC is allergic to defense. Yeah, that's their problem, man. If they can get any defense going, I mean, we'll see how they are without Caleb Williams too. Obviously, he was an integral piece of that football team. Oh, yeah, no, Jonathan, not number 1, no.
Welcome back into this Wednesday edition of the Miller's Edge. Right here on Tide 100.9, 12:30 a.m. WTBC. Remember, we are presented by the Good Feet Store, America's Art Support Experts. If you're any type of pain, foot pain, knee pain, back pain, just feel a little stiff, don't feel necessarily right. Tell them the Good Feet Store will take great care of you. Maybe wondering, hey, how was the Good Feet Store going to do that pain? Well, they've got premium art support that's designed to alleviate that pain. They're great for all situations. Walking your dog, just in and out of work and walking around the house. You can even wear them. You wear these things, and I promise, man, they make the world's difference. So go check them out. They'll take great care of you. Again, that's the Good Feet Store. They're in Midtown Village in Tuscaloosa, or you can always go to goodfeet.com to schedule an appointment or find the nearest Good Feet location to you. Again, that's Good Feet, improving the quality of people's lives 2 feet at a time. Now, you said you wanted to get into some stuff. I know you're saving some stuff for the second hour, but real quick, before I throw it back to you, I will say, Coach DeBoer is down in Mobile for the Senior Bowl. There's some pictures of him with his former quarterback at Washington, Michael Penix, who I've heard some good things about him down at the Senior Bowl, which doesn't surprise me, man. That dude, when I was going back and watching some more Washington tape to kind of get an idea on how this offense might look, just kind of understand a little bit more about what Coach Grubb likes when he's calling his offenses, man, you can't help but notice, man, Michael Penix Jr., I mean, you talk about accuracy. I mean, he was putting things on the money, throwing it on the line. And I got to give you props because you actually said, I think it was 2 years. It wasn't this past year, but 2 years ago, I remember you were talking about Michael Penix Jr. as one of your favorites or somebody that should get some recognition. I don't know if you're saying necessarily Heisman or what, but you're just saying he's a guy that not as many people are talking about, but deserves some of that conversation. And I remember because you used to stay up and watch Pac-12 and all that stuff. You was like watching. I didn't. So I remember you mentioned him like, yeah, that quarterback Washington has Michael Penix. You were extremely impressed 2 years ago. I ain't necessarily know much about him. But as I've been watching more and more tape, and obviously I got to know more this year watching them, that dude is an extremely good football player. And if they can find a way to help develop a guy like Jalen Milroe, I'm not saying he'll become Michael Penix. They're totally different types of players, but man, if they can try to get him confident like that to make those throws, I mean, because this dude, like I said, he was putting it in some tight windows, and he was confident. He looked like he was operating well. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm excited to see what this staff can do with a guy like Jalen Milroe. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Like Coach DeBoer is down at the Senior Bowl visiting with his guys again. We have 3 guys down there. We've got our
does he even know those guys?
I said he's down there at the Senior Bowl.
I'm asking,
guys.
He won't be visiting the Alabama guys?
I'm sure he might introduce himself. What are you trying to say, though? I mean,
I'm just trying to say,
his quarterback is down there. He's not down there to visit the Alabama guys. Michael Penix is down there, so he's down there. It was him and Kane Womack, who was a former South Alabama head coach, where they hold the Senior Bowl practices and all that good stuff, right? They're down in Mobile, and I'm sure they're also going to be doing some recruiting. But all I'm saying is he was down there visiting his guys, probably more so the Washington guys. But I'm sure he'll introduce himself. I mean, yeah, you're right. They don't know each other, but I don't know why that really matters. I mean, he's probably going to say, "Hey."
Well, because the coach. That's why I said Nick Saban obviously not going to be there because Nick Saban's going to be playing golf, doing this thing, playing some golf.
He might show up. Coach Saban still might show up.
Shane Beamer's down there. Spencer Rattler's there, South Carolina. So Shane going to go see his guy, right? But I'm just saying, I think he has to go make that initial, I don't know, just conversation, introduction saying, hey, I'm Coach Kalen DeBoer of Alabama. And, it's be kind of weird that you got guys down there. Hopefully he took some guys that they know. I think it'd be cool if the D-line coach went or Jamie or somebody would have went that they know Justin Boygby or, Chris Braswell. Who's the other guy, third guy? Will Reichert. Yeah.
Well, I think – again, I think Coach Saban could potentially end up making a trip down there just to visit with those guys. But it's not like, the coaches don't have to go down there. I think they just do it and you know what I mean?
No, you got to go just part of just
to go show support. But what I'm saying is those Nick guys Saban are going to be
single year.
Those he did, but he's now retired. So I wouldn't be shocked if he did make the decision to go visit his guys. Because again, Will Reichert, Chris Braswell, Justin Boygby, those are 3 of his guys. Those are Nick Saban's guys. So I wouldn't be shocked if he made the trip. But if not, it's not the end of the world. They'll be fine. And I'm sure Coach DeBoer will introduce himself, but it's not like he's going to be down there to visit with those 3 guys that he didn't coach them. So I don't think it's that big of a deal personally. I don't.
That's a huge deal. I mean, you got to be there support because to support. You've won relationships. You want to talk to NFL guys. You want your guys drafted. Why? Because it enhances the program. Of course, it's a huge deal. So they're going to go down there. Nick would always see Belichick and all his people that he knows from the National Football League. I mean, you're talking about your guys, right? So it's great.
Does every head coach go down there? I'm genuinely asking. Like,
it doesn't.
I've never, I never saw
coach.
pictures of Jim Harbaugh. I could be wrong, but I'm saying I don't.
Maybe not.
Does Ryan Day go down there? That's what I'm saying. I don't think every major head. I think I've seen Dabo Sweeney down there. But I'm saying if a head coach doesn't go down there, it's not like it's going to affect the draft stock or change it. It's just really not that big of a deal, in my opinion. That's just me.
When you're talking about enhancing relationships, when you're talking about supporting your kid, they're telling somebody about Chris Braswell more than just on the field, what kind of person he is, what type of leader he is. Of course, you'll have those opportunities, but that's part of what you do. And you take your brand down there. It's a big deal. Jim Nagy does a great job at the Reese's Senior Bowl. It is a huge deal. That's why all these people are there. I'm just saying that it does matter. And if you get on the board, you're going to make that initial introduction, right? Because you're supporting what they're wearing on their helmet, the A, the number, Alabama. And he is Alabama. Right. So he's got to, I know his old, Michael Penix Jr., I get it. That's your guy. You coached him. You brought him there from Indiana. But these are your guys now because this is who you get paid by. Now you're not wearing Washington. Michael Penix got a W on his helmet down there. Chris Braswell, them dudes got the A helmet. So he has to go spend some time over there with those guys. So he had to do both. I'm just saying because it is important. Let's take a phone call.
Wait. No. Hold on.
Well, I mean, piece of
hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me explain something. On this, damn well, these conversations have been going on. These scouts have been talking to coach. They've been talking to the strength coach. They've been talking to player development. They've been talking to whether Sam Petito, Denzel Duvall, whoever. They've been talking to these people about these players. I've even talked to scouts about players because they all know me. They're the same scouts when I was coming out. They see me on the sidelines calling the games and they talk to me. The head coach is not in Mobile. It is not that big of a deal. I promise you. I guarantee he will go introduce himself. But that doesn't make any sense. He can't advocate for any of our guys necessarily. Hey, I've watched tape on 3 Alabama guys that are here. Obviously, I didn't coach them, but there's some really good. He can say that, but he doesn't necessarily know them as people, right? So there's not much he can speak on. So to me, it's not that. Again, it's not a big deal. I was down at the Senior Bowl. I'll be honest, I don't even remember interacting with Coach Saban. Right? I think he just comes down there just to show his support. Again, knowing Coach Saban, if he has time, he might stop by down there just to support Will Reichert and Justin Boyd, Chris Braswell. But if not, it's really not that big of a deal. Those conversations, they still are going to go talk to all the player development, even people that might have left. You and I both know these scouts can even go back to high school and middle school if they really want to get information out of it. I think you're kind of blowing that one out of proportion. Personally, yes, he's wearing an Alabama hoodie now when he's down there, but Michael Penix was his guy. He was his guy before Washington. He's going to go support that guy and talk great about him because that's his guy that he's helped develop and coach. That to me is totally fine.
You totally missed the point.
What's the point?
The point is you still have to go do it, right? Because when he goes and shake the hand of Chris Braswell, anybody with the helmet of Alabama on, it's also press. It's all local media. They're going to take a picture. They're going to put it on X. We're going to see it. We're already seeing the picture of him getting that he's there. So all of this stuff is calculated for everybody. So my point is,
even when Coach Saban went down there, again, he's probably doing it because he has to show his support.
That's my point. You got to go show because he is now Alabama. Yeah, he was Washington. He's going to do both. That's my point. He's going to have to go say hey to these guys because they still a part of your program. Even though you didn't coach them, obviously they're great players or they wouldn't be there at the Senior Bowl, right? You still go show that support. You go sit and make sure you get that picture. It's kind of like Donald Trump and the Bible at the front of the church. You got to go get it. I mean, you got to go make sure because that's part of it. It's got the social media part.
Dude, all this stuff is part of media. Do you think they'd even want to be out doing this stuff? They have I'm confused on where you're going with that. I mean, you're just saying you're saying I don't know what you're making. You're just saying you're not impressed by him being down there. What do you?
I've never said that. So you put
no. I'm asking. I generally don't know where you're going with that. Like, obviously, I'm sure you.
I'm saying make sure he goes to Alabama side. You kept saying, "Oh, it's Michael Penix." All about Michael Penix. I said, "Quarter." I was saying that my point was.
That means you missed the point. The picture that I saw was him and came on with a picture with Michael Penix. I just said the picture was him talking with Michael Penix.
My point is, you better be taking a picture.
But does he have to take a picture? Like, to me, that would look weird. He didn't coach them.
It's about him coaching. It's about where he's at. It's about representing the A. And he is the head coach of Alabama. A lot of coaches didn't coach me, right? That are here now. Shane Beamer didn't coach me. Right. But if I'm at a function, he takes as a former player. That's part of it. It's still called family. We talk about family fraternity. It don't matter about if he coached him. It's about that the respect level that he's coaching those dudes school now. They've been a part of championships. And you go make that introduction because you're going to need those guys too. But they're going to have to recruit down the road because why? When they get to the NFL, who are they going to showcase when the Ryan Williams and these dudes come in that locker room? Former players in the NFL, growth. Right? That's all recruiting pitching. That's all I'm saying. It absolutely matters. All right, top hour break time. And as we see on the phone, we'll get you now with number 2. I got some questions on this football team players. We had football a little bit. I love doing that. I want to argue something. I love doing it.
Yeah, clearly, because you argue for nothing. You know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't. You're like an 8 honor roll. It's important relationship.
Well, I'm confused. No one said he wasn't going to go in. I literally said he.
I know that, but I don't know that either. But the radio, my point is, it's important that he does. Whether he does it or not, I don't know. I'm saying it's important, and I give you the reason. This is Will Zach, 100.9, 4:30 a.m. WTBC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Christian's right, arguing for that. That's what I'm saying, guys. I think he just likes to argue sometimes. I genuinely was confused. I was just saying the guy was down there visiting with his quarterback, which makes total sense, right? And he's, he better be. I'm like, I'm sure he will introduce himself, but I mean, what is he going to go advocate for him? Like, I guess he's just saying, pay his respect, which I'm sure he will do 100%. Let's see if we can get some of the because they had the media out there. Obviously, they flocked over to him. So let's see if we can find kind of some of this interview. Well, not not necessarily interview, but it's what the press was talking about. Sam says yes, and I think Coach DeBoer should make an effort to go introduce himself to the Bama players, have a photo with them as new coach. Yeah, Sam, the thing is, I never disagreed with that. That's what I was saying the whole time. I literally said I think he should go introduce himself. And I just was saying, like, initially he made it seem like he was supposed to only be at the Senior Bowl on behalf of Alabama players only. And I just thought that doesn't make much sense. He doesn't know these guys, right? You can't advocate for somebody or put your stamp on something or somebody that you don't know. Right. That's all I was saying, Zach. I mean, am I right when I say I think he coached Penix at Indiana and then brought him to Washington? So, I mean, their relationship goes way back. So, Sam, so I understand both your points. Really, we're saying the same thing. It's just I think he was like arguing as if I was saying he didn't need to do that. Saban's retired. Let that man rest. Another team to say he had a coach. He's definitely resting, but I'm just telling y'all, knowing the type of guy Coach Saban is, it wouldn't shock me if he made a trip to the Senior Bowl just to go show his support to those three guys. But if he doesn't, again, that's not a big deal either. He is retired now. He's no longer the head football coach here, so he's not obligated to do it. He never was obligated. He always – that's just the type of guy Coach Saban is. He always is going to go show his support. So Coach DeBoer, when he met with the media down there at the Senior Bowl, so he talked about Austin Mack, the quarterback that he brought in from Washington. He said, this is what he said about him. I think his skill set and all the tools he brings as a quarterback, the arm talent, but I also think he's just got a really great head on his shoulder. He's young, and for him to do what he did with us last year, reclassified and really learn the offense as fast as anyone I've ever seen that age.
And welcome back into the second hour of the Miller's Edge right here on Title 9, 12:30 a.m. WTBC. First hour, we did a lot of talking about a number of things. We got to talking about this coach's ranking that was on On3. It was a tweet from On3, and basically we gave our thoughts on that. Got a lot of people's thoughts over on the YouTube channel as well. So that was really good. Got some more stuff to talk about in this hour. Recently, we were speaking on the Senior Bowl. Again, if you're just tuning in, Coach DeBoer was down there at the Senior Bowl where he was seen. He spoke with the media a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about what he had to say. And he also was seen talking with his former quarterback, Michael Penix. So as you
let me just say something real quick.
Oh, God, here we go.
Some of you people on YouTube, I'm really trying to be respectful. Some of your comments are just idiotic. All right, let me just tell you this.
Oh,
listen
gosh.
to me. And I'm looking in my camera on the computer. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I think a coach that knows nothing about a player can go talk to an NFL general manager about that said player? No, he can't. That's not what I said. Listen to me. What I'm saying is important that the coach makes the relationship with the player the contact. Of course, he's not going to be able to help the guy. And they don't need them to talk good about them, right? There are enough people that they do their due diligence when it comes to getting drafted. I know this better than anybody. When it comes to getting drafted, I get that. But what y'all saying, oh, he can't tell somebody about. Of course he can. That's what I was saying in general. That's why coaches go there. Coaches go there to have conversations. In Kalen DeBoer's situation, yes, of course he knows Michael P. He coached him. He brought him with him. I mean, don't just hear certain things. Hear everything what I'm saying. My point, again, and I'm going to move on. You can't talk to a team or an NFL team if you hadn't coached a player. But it's important as a new coach of Alabama who hadn't coached these young men, the three guys there, that he makes the initial introduction. That also is important. It ain't about lifting them up to the NFL scout. That's what I said.
Well, I think when you initially were making the point, it almost sounded as if you were implying that.
Well, I did not sound that. I said nothing like that.
Well,
I mean, I'm not freaking stupid. How am I going to say Kalen DeBoer, who coached a total different team, knows nothing about a guy, going to tell somebody about an NFL guy? That's idiotic. I never said that.
That's why I was confused on what you were saying, because that's what it sounded like. So I don't know. You can go back and watch the rerun, and maybe you'll
I don't need to watch the rerun. It's simple. I'm just saying, and I was like, bro, I would never say that. I never said that. The point is the player and the new coach. Does Kalen DeBoer have a Washington coat on, or does he have an Alabama coat on?
He has an Alabama quarters, probably similar to what I have on right now.
Does Chris Braswell have a Washington helmet on or Alabama helmet?
I don't know. I wonder which
one. So my point is, I know they changed stickers in these All-Star games. My point is, it's great. It will be great if he does go take a picture. It'll be great if he does show that, hey, I'm going to former Nick Saban guys, but these are guys, now we still on the same team, right? Because we always talk about fraternity, family, even after you leave. You got a new coach in, well, you're part of the family too. That's all I'm saying. That's the importance of that. Right, so like Jack, he doesn't know the Alabama player. He does, like, really? I mean, like, come on, dude.
Well, I guess people just kind of just expect that because, again, he also said in his press conference he wants all the former players to come back around. I mean, this is a great opportunity for him to some very recent former players. That's why I was just kind of again, the way it came out, it just sounded like it was kind of confusing. But anyway, with that being said, I do want to remind you guys about our good friends over at Off-Road Performance Direct. If you're in need of any type of lifts, any type of leveling kits, even if you just want some new rims or tires, you got a truck, SUV, all that good stuff, they'll take great care of you right there at Off-Road Performance Direct. Again, they're located in Northport, 4751 Lake Sherwood Lane, Northport, Alabama. Go check them out now. Contact my guy, Michael. He will take great care of you and get your truck ready for any type of anything you really need, whether you want it for looks, you do a lot of hunting, going off-road, they'll take great care of you. So again, Off-Road Performance Direct, the 4x4 shop, they will take great care of you. Contact Michael. Again, that's 205-310-1823. Again, Off-Road Performance Direct over in Northport. Yeah,
let's go. Let's take Tommy. He's been holding for a while. 205-342-9904. Tommy from Romulus, you up here on the edge. What's up, buddy?
I'm going to ask you, do y'all need to take yoga lesson or anger management? I think I need to roll the mats out and start inhaling and exhaling. Get your yin and yang going.
Nah, why would it be boring? That'd be boring, Tommy.
I know.
Like I said, I'm chilling. I just was confused.
Okay, well, if y'all chilly, I'm confused. I coach going down to the Mobile and talking to our former players, having picture made. I think it's good PR because you know what? He can tell recruits, like, I'm the new coach of Alabama. I got Washington players down here, my former players from Washington. Some of them are going to be number one draft choice. Some of my new team, I didn't coach these guys at Alabama. We're not going to miss a step what Nick Saban started, right. That we have 1 or 2 draft picks in the first round since 2008 or something like that. It's going to continue. I'm going to support these players. And that's going to be a great relationship with kids in high school looking towards Alabama to play future football for. I mean, he's building bridges. I don't know if he can go speak for him, but he said, if Nick Saban thought they was good enough to play, I think they're good enough to play. So, I'm not going to argue with Nick Saban, and I'm going to help my former players. It's a win-win for everybody, in my opinion, down there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I think that's exactly what he will do. That's all I was saying. I mean, obviously he can't speak on behalf of those guys. He doesn't know them personally, but he can go introduce himself, get to know them a little bit while he's down there. But he's definitely going to go visit with Michael Penix and any other Washington guys they might have down there. That makes total sense. Again, he just was coaching with them in the national championship game not even 2 weeks ago, right? Those are his guys. That's all I was saying. But I think it's a good opportunity for him to continue to get out there, let his face get more and more recognizable, and get in. Look, I mean, because again, we're still not weird, but he coached in the Pacific Northwest, right? This is another opportunity down there with a whole bunch of scouts, and I'm sure they can go visit some more recruits while they're down in Mobile. So I think it's smart and the right move to go down there, hang out there, show his face, and visit with both guys while he's down there.
I think it's a win-win for Alabama. I mean, really. I mean, he's helping. He hasn't forgotten his former players. And I wouldn't be surprised, like in the off-season, when you played professional football, during the off-season, did you train back here in Tuscaloosa, Christian? I mean,
yeah, I did.
The facilities, I mean, a lot of former Alabama players come back and train here because our facilities is better than a lot of the pro team facilities.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, and he mentioned that in his press conference, and I think he meant it. I don't think he just was saying it to say it, but he said he welcomes all former players back. And that's what I'm saying. That's all I was saying earlier, is that he didn't have to. No one has to go down to the Senior Bowl. I don't think every single coach goes down there. I think realistically they go to show support, but also a lot of it is not publicity stunt, but you know what I mean. Do it for PR. But he'll have plenty of opportunities as well to meet former guys. I mean, I know when I was, coming back here and working out, I mean, there's always guys, back in the weight room, whether it was O.J. Howard, Mac Wilson, Anthony Jennings, Ron Payne, a ton of guys always come back here to work out and do treatment, all that good stuff. So, I mean, I think, as, he continues to make his rounds, he'll meet more and more people and continue to establish himself. Yeah,
I mean, the point again is about the relationship building, because They don't know you. You don't know them. They know about you, right? And so, of course, he's going to take pictures with Penix and whoever else is there from Washington. But you also go make that initial introduction and say, "Hey, I'm your new football coach. This is your program. I'm here." You have a good conversation. I think that's always good, and that's what you expect. I wouldn't doubt if we didn't see any pictures coming from those guys from down there, because these are the nuts and bolts of your program, is people like that, right? That's played well and done great things and still doing good things. Going to play on Sundays, and these guys will be back around the program while you're there as the head coach. That's all. That was the whole preface. It's not like it's not important. It is important, just because it's about building relationships. It's about being around and showing your face, whether it's just tongue in cheek or just, what it's about, right? Nick Saban, every year, what they always post every time he got there, right?
He got to build his brand. I mean,
I know
there's
his
Alabama brand.
He shows his face, and he ain't there that long. They fly in, and boom, he's out. He shows his face, talk to Bill Belichick or whomever else he knows, sees a couple of guys, and watch a little bit of practice, and then they dip. So it's still all about, these types of things are about who's who, right? That's what it's about. If you've been in any kind of all-star game or these types of celebrity deals, these are about who's who. Some of them is about jobs. Some of them is about, hey, I'll get to know this coach. Hey, I'm available. Blah blah blah. Let me know. A lot of hires happen places like at the Senior Bowl. That's what they do.
Yeah, it's a business trip, and recruiting is everything. Roll up to one. About your list of coaches. Whoa, dog.
Oh yeah. What's your top five?
Kirby one. Yeah, most of you just want to. He might be sliding, but then I'm gonna put Ryan Day. That's three, but like I said, he's sliding, but I think he's going to put around his personality. Number four is Al Witt from Utah.
Yeah.
If you didn't prepare for him, he was solid.
That dude's a great.
He is. Defense and offense. Number five is Toby Lane. I want to say why. Yeah, I'll pull it like head coach. I give it that time. The six is a tie. I'm going to give it to Start and Ivy. Because let's just look at it this way. Last year was Start, fourth year, I'm winning 15 games. And any college is been at the head coach. Is that right?
That's correct. No, that's right.
Well, I take these two for everybody love analytics. I got two analytics for everybody. Start didn't win 10 games when he was at big coach of Washington. And what the boy did. He inherited 6.8. He beat them twice. He had talent at Washington did. So I'm putting them in tie to see. I know I won't yell at my Alabama fans, but I don't want to make them think, we try to win some battles and do some things before I put them up there.
You are so good. You are so good and you're right. Because the thing is, like when you don't, you're incomplete. You still the boys. We need to see it. We believe it. Believe that he can. He's equipped. Believe that he possesses everything to do great things. We still got to go do it. And that's where I got. I'm kind of like what you said. Him and Sark. He beat Sark, so that can the edge over Sark.
I'm not taking nothing away. Everybody loves analytics, and I'm like, I don't know if they have my decision. I'm like, he won 10 games 2 years in a row at Washington. He beat him twice. It started at Washington 3 to the USC side. Remember when 10 games at Washington or USC? And I'm like, last year was his first year. I'm like, you got to get at the right place at the right time.
Yeah. No, your points are well taken, and I think they're very good. I mean, we'll hit a break, but it's good to hear from you as always. Yes, there goes. Tommy from Ramos. Quick timeout. That's good stuff. I mean, that's a good breakdown. I've never heard anybody's analytics for the top tier coaches, but that's pretty good. All right, we'll be back in a moment.
West Alabama's Big Old Deer Hunting Contest is underway. Weekly winners are picking up $50 gift cards for Texas Roadhouse. And all weekly winners are entered into the grand prize competition at the end of the season. Take your big buck over to Hicks Taxidermy, the official taxidermist of the Big Old Buck Hunting Contest. Presented by Paul's Feed and Seed, Adams Heating and Cooling, Anders Hardware, Crimson Pride Hunting and Fishing, Stacy Perkins, Modern Woodmen of America, and Riverside Feed and Seed. Win your shot at thousands of dollars in cash and prizes with the Big Old Buck Hunting Contest.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust, like Whirlpool, Samsung, and LG, in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of our everyday financing offers on top items, from refrigerators to laundry pairs. And there's more. Get your new appliances delivered or installed quickly at your convenience. Because Lowe's knows appliances. Lowe's knows home improvement. Subject to credit approval.
365, 24/7. You'll find road and tow truck, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadway.
We're making improvements and helping our community stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. Now we need your help to make sure you're safe too. Alabama's moving along hard.
This is Drive Safe Alabama, brought to you by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A cool afternoon with a good supply of sunshine. The high today 52. Mostly clear tonight. A light freeze with the low at 30. Look for a warming trend tomorrow and Friday. The sky sunny both days. The high tomorrow 60. The high Friday 64. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 54 degrees in Tuscaloosa. This is 100.9.
Hey, welcome back to the Middle Edge. I like that. What a switch up there. Dustin Jones was coming up the hip pocket.
Well, I took over. I'm back early. Oh, and now.
You got that
I was playing rock.
I was thinking that, and I'm like,
He's jealous.
Right. I went to gym. Okay. How you doing, bro? Did you have
I just want.
you're the hardest working man. I was looking for you. Came across my spelling here that Alabama. He's really people who there you go. There you go. Alabama is getting good. I was trying to get some sounds from the Senior Bowl. extremely difficult. They're going to be active in the transfer portal in April. So we think this roster is going different. But how many spaces are available? You know, what is available defensively for this team? When you look at the defense, we'll start right there. We talk about the interior of the defensive line. Three guys coming back that played many meaningful minutes. They're back from Tim Smith to all these guys that are coming back up front. Jaheim Otis and others. Well, two that's very glaring and obvious is the edge guys. And the more I thought about it was, what in the world are they going to do at the edge position? And I know you always talk about they got a bunch of 5-stars that are sitting right there. Right? What are they going to do? Replace it? I think this is a position that they have to go after from dudes that have played, that have great experience, that are good. I think they got to get some dudes that are ready to go. I don't think they can go young here, because I think that's how important that position is in the Nick Saban's defense. It has been, but I don't know about this new Womack defense. Right, we talk about 4-2-5. I don't know. What are they going to do at the edge? Because they lose a lot of valuable players, a lot of valuable plays, a lot of valuable minutes from Dallas Turner, from Chris Braswell. What are they going to do? Because I think this has to be, no doubt, a portal situation.
Yeah, I think it could be for sure. If there is somebody available when it opens back up, it could be post-spring, and that is a position. Being truthful here, they were already looking in the portal for that position before they retired. And I don't think that's a secret here. Texas A&M had an edge guy that was taking a visit here. So they already were kind of investigating the portal at the edge position before. So I think that would make sense. You had a plethora of players in that room. It's just nobody has valuable experience, so to speak. The most experienced guy in the edge position right now would be Darius Robinson, but he was more of a third down, rapid package player. Definitely was productive with pass rush situations in the rapid package. And he's a demon on special teams. So earn a role, right? He's a veteran guy, just doesn't have the most experience, but he's probably the most experienced player. But another name would be Quay Russaw, a young player who was a true freshman last year. I believe he redshirted out of the trio of true freshmen. I think all these guys were borderline 5-stars. We had Keon Keeley, Quay Russaw, and Andre Pierre. Quay Russaw was the one that was receiving the most attention in practice when it was presented. Right, he was getting reps in practice. Right, he did. I think they all redshirted. None of them really played. But I would say the previous staff, they felt Quay Russaw was a little bit further along than other guys. So with that being said, I wouldn't be shocked if Quay Russaw establishes himself. Keon Keeley is a guy where, I mean, honestly, he looks like I wouldn't say put on even more weight, but he looks like with his frame, he honestly could push 265. Wouldn't shock me. If that's the case, you could put him over, let's see, at the other end spot, right, which is more of a bigger guy in the scheme, and then have a more athletic guy I think they call the wolf position. I need to get it for sure, but anyway, it's like the jack. So that's what I would look at, but just take Keon out of the equation at the other spot. I would probably, if I had to guess, I would say probably LT Overton. He fits the bill as that other end spot. Him. Then I think at the tackle spots, you got Tim Keenan, who's more of that nose. And then Jaheim Otis, again, play tackle or nose. And Smith, again, probably more that tackle spot. But, yeah, I agree. I think they could go to the portal. But more importantly, I'm more so thinking about the cornerbacks, man. Because realistically, I mean, you're replacing a lot of production there too, right? You're replacing McKinstry and Terry Arnold, right? And then really the most experienced guy in the secondary coming back would be Malachi Moore. And other than that, I mean, you've got Devontae Smith, who was hurt all last season, played sparingly at the end of the year when he came back. He looks but still, there was just lack of experience. You got DeMonte Jackson, who was a highly rated player coming out of high school. He played okay. He was solid for the college year, but I definitely think he can take some steps. Other than that, though, you got a lot of youth. So I wouldn't be shocked if they look at that spot too, at the cornerback or safety position, because you're going to need depth, not just that. Especially when you get into dime package, you need 6 guys on the field, right? So I think they might hit the portal for a couple spots on defense. If I had to guess, I would
We
probably
do
say
have Overton there, though. We got Overton.
no. I said that. I said LT Overton would be at the other side, not edge, whatever they term it. Look, you got let's say defensive end, nose, and say we called it a jack, but they called it a wolf, right? I could be wrong. I think it's wolf. Wolf is more of like that would have been like Chris Braswell. LT Overton would probably be on that end side. Well, they got options. So I think definitely cornerback, edge, maybe even some inside linebackers for depth. We don't have much depth at inside linebacker. I can see us taking a handful of guys out of the portal on defense.
No, I think they need to. I think that's the most important thing that they have. They got some corners. I think those corners that are still there, the additional kids from Cal, and they're going to play 5 defensive backs, right? They're going to play defensive backs. So they're 4-2-5. So that means you're going to have at least 10 dudes ready to ball. At least you'd like to have more than that. And then you're going to have to cross train some guys. But again, we don't know exactly yet. We can pull up film of South Alabama's defense because Womack can give you an overview of that, of this 4-2-5. I just don't like 4-2-5, especially against when we got to stop the run in this conference. Conference that really hangs their hat on trench play and running the football, the physicality. 4-2-5 that team do very well in this room. It's more of a pass defense. All right, it's more of a nickel. You're going to be 11 personnel, 1 back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. That's what it's built for. So I'm not sure when I start thinking about this defense. You've heard me say I think the offense of Alabama is going to be okay. I'm a believer in Jalen Milroe. I'm not one of those guys that think he's not equipped to learn Kalen DeBoer's offense, and he's not good enough from the neck up and all that good stuff. Sorry about that. But I think they will devise an offense for him. They will generate some things that this dude can do, and I think he's going to do a better job of it. I think they won't emphasize quick throws. See, we always talk about, you heard me talk about Jalen getting the ball out of his hands quick. A lot of times it's the call, right? You can have predetermined calls where that ball is out, right? You scheme the defense where your guys going to be open. Those quick throws are going to be there. So I think we're going to see that. So I'm not as concerned about Alabama's offense. I think they're more equipped to pick up and right where they're better than what they left off. I think they're going to be better offensively. I think they're going to be more innovative. I think Kalen DeBoer is an innovator. I think he's a guy that's why his offenses are good. He understands it. You hear me talk about the number 2 pencil. He sharpens that pencil. He's able to draw up the plays. I think all of that good stuff, right? I think the offense is going to be fine. And I don't think you have to be a 5-star wide receiver. I know we're getting Ryan Williams and kudos to him and what he's accomplished, back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year. I get all of that. If you look at the history of Washington and its offensive team before you look at receivers, I'll give you an example. The tight end there was a walk-on at Washington, very, very instrumental in what he did for that offense, right? And he caught 40-some passes, much more than any of our tight ends, right? And that's because the innovator of the play call, right? So I feel good about the offense. I love Justice Haynes. I love Jam Miller. I love the new guys. They can run the football. You got tight ends that's played a lot of valuable minutes. You got the offensive line. You got to replace the tackle. Tackle spots will be crucial. We do know that, but I think they'll be fine. And I don't think you have to be a dynamic 5-star plus to excel in this offense, because I think the scheme in itself will afford you opportunities to make some big plays. But defensively is where Alabama's going. I'm going to say it today, and I'm going to say it loudly. defensively for Alabama is going to be where they're going to miss Nick Saban's handprint is on the defensive side. And I think in this, it's going to be two things. I don't think they have the players, Jimmys and Joes, yet. And I may change my opinion if they're very aggressive in the transfer portal and get some dudes. Well, as we look at this roster to date, nah, bro. I wouldn't bet money on this defense. No way. Well, they're going to play in a shootout. They're going to say we're going to try to outscore people in the 40s, win games. Right now, if you look at this defense, I know they got some guys coming back, but they need more than that. So I'm a little bit concerned. So we'll talk more about that on the flip side. Plus, Kevin DeBoer, we talked about it in Mobile, and he spoke to the media, Christian, and we're going to play that. We'll hear from Kevin DeBoer down in Mobile, Alabama at the Region Senior Bowl. That's coming up after this time out. You listen to Mills Edge on the Tide, 100.9, 12:30 a.m. WTBC. Back in a moment.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust, like Whirlpool, Samsung, and LG, in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of our everyday financing offers on top items, from refrigerators to laundry pairs. And there's more. Get your new appliances delivered or installed quickly at your convenience. Because Lowe's knows appliances. Lowe's knows home improvement. Subject to credit approval.
If you find yourself in a wreck, keep three things in mind. First, call the police. Second, take pictures of the scene. Third, call me. I'm attorney Steven Mizrano, and I win. My firm is committed to fighting the big insurance companies and making sure you get the money you deserve. Call today for a free consultation. I don't get paid unless I win for you. Call 800-8000 or visit mezwins.com. I've got this.
No representations made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
My caretaker was very rough with me. I thought they did it because I wasn't moving fast enough.
Elder abuse is a crime, and together we can stop it. If you or someone you know has been abused, neglected, or exploited, call the Adult Abuse Hotline at 1-800-458-7214. That's 1-800-458-7214. Sponsored by the Alabama.
Yes. I have. Do you know what section of it you want? 8 minutes. Yes. Okay. You got it.
I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And welcome back as we are moshing. That's the right word, moshing. Punk rock. I mean, I've heard that song right there, Noah.
Yes, it's very popular.
Carry me home. Ba-da-da-sa, da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Carry me home, right? So I've heard that song. That's very popular.
Yeah, so you listen to it.
No. There's a difference between listening, bless you.
Thank you.
And actually hearing the song. I've heard it before. I don't listen to it.
I think he's actually a big fan.
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, look, he listens to Hootie and the Blowfish. I mean,
let her cry.
They're like flirting between country and pop and alternative rock. They're
like
hybrid,
rain.
so it's close. Did you have that interview? Do you want to play some stuff out of that?
Yeah. Kalen DeBoer is down in Mobile and took a picture with Michael Penix Jr. Hopefully he went and said hello to the Bama boys as well. But he had a chance to meet with the media, and here's a little bit of head football coach Kalen DeBoer.
You know, there's only one Coach Saban, and there's different ways of doing it to be successful. We will, want to uphold those traditions and all those things that have made this place special. But But everyone will have their own fingerprints on it when it comes to what we do offensively, defensively, and obviously myself as the head coach.
Have you had a chance to come up for air? I know you play the national title game a week after you take the Alabama job. Have you had a chance to kind of rest for a few moments?
No, not at all. But that's okay. That means that there's a lot of people pulling me in a lot of different directions, and it's been fun getting to know our team. They're doing a great job on campus, really kind of steady now in their workouts and, out on the road, just meeting a lot of new faces and enjoying it. The Alabama logo means a lot down here in the Southeast. And so it's been really fun, here these last 2 weeks being out and about.
You might have 2 first-round draft picks at wide receiver. What's your recruiting pitch to those guys at that position, that skill position, knowing how much you've developed them to the highest level?
Yeah, when you put it that way with 2 potential first-round draft picks, I think it sells itself. But, you really dive into how we got to that point. It's, scheme and all that, but it's a lot of development. And that's going to happen not just at the wide receiver position, but across the board in our football team.
You get to see one of your between Pac-12 football and SEC football, any noticeable difference?
I think there is. This level of football here in the SEC has been at a high championship level for a long time. And I think every part of the country has their own style. Physicality is what wins championships. And, I think that's what that's what a lot of what we do is going to be based on. But, I think football is also football no matter where you go. And, our stuff will also translate to wherever I've been. I've been in the Midwest and other places in the country, and just making the jaunt from the West Coast to the Southeast. I think all the things we do will translate over.
How cool to see Michael Penix? He went through a lot before he got to you at Washington to see everything work out so well for him.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Just kind of in 5 minutes, a snapshot of what he's gone through and what he's all worked for, and realizing that dream right now, and really in the best place he's ever been. When it comes to 2 to 3 years now of being healthy and just continuing to develop and grow. Just all he's been through has prepared him mentally, for this type of scenario, to where, the pressure is the pressure, but he knows, has the confidence that he is going to be just fine if he just does what he's capable of each and every day.
Coach, in the off season, when it's hard for the coaching staff to spend as much time with the players, how beneficial could it be for Jalen Milroe to be around a Brailsford, be around a Bernard, where they can just talk player to player about the offense?
Yeah, from a staff standpoint, we're really looking forward to next week to being around our guys and spending a lot of time with the team, back on campus. But those that have come with us from Washington, there's certainly an understanding of, even the system, and what certain concepts are called and how we teach them. So hopefully back on campus, they're picking up on those things. Jalen with, Austin, and as well as, having a center like Parker there knows all the calls, and we can hit the ground running here next week when it comes to installing offense and defensive systems.
All right, there you go. There is the head football coach of the University of Alabama, Kalen DeBoer, down in Mobile. Answer some questions from the media. Christian, thoughts? We played about half of it, so it's about 8 minutes long, but you kind of get a gist of, he's excited about next week and, seeing players and meeting with players and that type of thing.
Yeah, and he said a lot of good stuff. I respect him for acknowledging the SEC and the physicality and the championship standard here in this league. Sound like he was very careful with that because he didn't want to be disrespectful to anybody back in the Pac-12. But look at the fact that he's willing to acknowledge that shows that, he's preparing himself for a greater challenge. Again, he's been around the game. And I think he's well-versed enough to know that in the SEC, it is a different league and there's going to be greater challenges. But like I said, I think what he said makes a lot of sense. Bringing guys in from Washington can obviously help the guys here get up to speed with what they like to do. You talk about the center, how, included the center is in terms of knowing the offense and getting guys on board. That'll be very beneficial. Having Parker or Brailsford come in from Washington. Same thing with Austin Mack. Wouldn't be shocked if they have him helping Jalen Milroe out. One thing though that I saw this wasn't from this. It was from another article though, and I thought it was interesting. and I don't mean to segue away from that, but I just want to throw this out there too. I saw that I forgot, and I don't know who it was. It was a quote though that they basically were explaining the Ryan Williams visit when he was here and how they had Austin Mack very involved in the process. And basically, they said Coach DeBoer sat both of them down. Ryan Williams, wide receiver prospect, 5-star prospect, who they got to recommit, and Austin Mack, quarterback, former Washington quarterback, who they got via the transfer portal. They said Coach DeBoer sat them down and basically told them that they're going to be the future of this program. They're going to be the faces of the program, and that Austin Mack will be delivering a lot of passes and touchdowns to Ryan Williams for years to come after Jalen Milroe leaves.
Really?
Yeah, and I need to go back and find it so you actually can read it. But I thought it was interesting. Now, we all know coaches do this with recruiting, but I also know as a former player that if I'm a guy like Dylan Lonergan or Ty Simpson, a guy that's competing, and I know that Jalen Milroe is probably going to be the guy this year, but I know I have my sights set on me competing for that job once he leaves.
Whoa.
I might feel
I'll feel some kind of way.
Yeah, and but you also know that coaches. Now, Coach Saban didn't do that. Coach Saban didn't use that. He never used that tactic. He never. You can ask any recruit. He's never promised a position. He always promises the opportunity to compete for a position, but he never promised a position. Reading this because I had that, and I just was curious your thoughts on that, knowing that if a player were to read that, specifically a quarterback, that might throw you off a little bit. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, heck yeah. When you said that, I was like, whoa, because that's almost you promising somebody something they didn't earn yet. But we've seen this in recruiting a lot, right? Yeah. I think this is more about Ryan Williams. I think it's more about, hey, we got this big 6'6" rocket arm passer guy that transferred. It's going to be you and him. But I think it's all about the recruiting. The reality is, I see people in the year lined up, I see people throwing the ball. Right. And then you have to also make it that, listen, Ryan Williams, I love you. You got to beat the other guys up. And you're right. What does that say to the other guys? You just listen, we just opened the present and said, here you go. You just started. I don't like anything.
I don't either. We know that goes.
Yeah, I know it does. I hate it. And I think we say it in the right way. Listen, when you tell a guy he's got a job, he can work as hard. How about this money that they give him? I think most guys get that money, they get that bag, and they run. Well, you just tell the guy he's going to be the guy. Does he really work hard? Well, I don't know. I don't like that. I didn't read that. Didn't see it, but he's promising that kind of time. I will go to break. Whatever you think. Coming up here on the Taiwan 9 This is Bill Edge. Will Rogers behind the glass now after whatever he was doing, taking a nap. I don't know. Whatever he was doing. Christian Bill, I'm the pastor of pain. We'll be back in a moment.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less.
I forgot. That's what I said. No, I was at as an info session. Yeah. I'm seeing it. I'm trying to see if I can become a substitute teacher. Well, just one day a week. I mean, I need a part-time job that has flexible hours, and that's something I can conceivably do, and that aligns with all those things. Yeah, so I'll have to let you know. So I did the application on Monday, and then I went to the info session. So you gotta throw your ring in the hat, or not your ring in the hat. Your hat. Maybe so. Yeah. I'll probably do middle school and below. I don't think so. I think I'm a little too close to high school age to do high school. I feel like. my mom was like, my parents were like, why do you like wear different clothes so that way they know like what? Yeah. But yeah, that's where it was. So I mean, so that'll probably result in me once that all goes through, which should be in the next like week and a half or so. Hopefully, is I'll just because I'll just be out one of the days of the week. Yeah. I'll keep you posted as that happens. But I'm still gonna be here at the station, be like one day a week or something like that. I'll be out. Yeah, it'll be my school Wednesday, substitute Wednesday.
We're here for the coaches, athletic trainers, and mentors who are shaping the next generation of legends. We are here for you.
Aggressively pursuing victory over injury.
Learn more at andrewsportsmedicine.com.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A cool afternoon with a good supply of sunshine. The high today 52. Mostly clear tonight. A light freeze with the low at 30. Look for a warming trend tomorrow and Friday. The sky sunny both days. The high tomorrow 60. The high Friday 64. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 55 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
This is Miller's Edge on Tide 100.9.
And we're back. We're coming in hot. Final segment of the day. Miller's Edge. We've kind of been doing a lot of great things. What's up, Chance Green? Said, what's up, Christian and Pops? Hope you're doing well. A lot of good people there on our YouTube chat. Christian, you know, Justin the freelance. I don't know that.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to just offer some advice or something. But yeah, no. I did you get a chance to see what I sent? So
I did.
Yeah. So basically, it was Ryan Williams, wide receiver coach. I guess they're talking with him about the visit, and he just basically said, and I quote, "They sat down with Austin Mack and Ryan together. They kind of told them once Jalen graduates that they would be the faces of the program. He told them that they could throw for a bunch of yards, and both of them decided to come there. So." Yeah.
Well,
so I mean, maybe that's not necessarily a promise. I mean, he's just saying they.
No, that's a promise.
Well,
and here's the reality. This is what I'm gonna be watching for. All these people out here talking about Miro. I mean, I saw how he handled the Julian Sain situation, which I didn't agree with, as we know. I don't know if Jalen Milroe's job is secure. I don't. I think the coach ain't gonna tell no lie. But coach gonna tell him whatever was said. That's what it is.
You're talking about the wide receiver coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my point is, I don't think Jalen Milroe's job is secure. I think this guy really loves this Austin Mack dude.
Oh, he definitely.
And they brought in Will Rogers to Washington, right, as a transfer guy.
Oh, that's
like Will Rogers from Mississippi State was on the sidelines during the national championship game. Now I don't understand that move if you feel so good about Austin Mack.
True,
right? But they had Will Rogers there on the sidelines. Now he got in the portal, but I think he's staying at Washington. I think the last I heard.
Yeah, he stayed.
So I think Jed Fish talked him into staying. But so where is Kalen DeBoer in all of this? Because does he like a Milroe? Is he going to listen to the fan base? Which I think there's still a lot of people out there they're not on my train with Milroe. So I think more I listen to these types of comments and more I just lean my head in. I believe Jalen Milroe's job is not secure. And I think this spring is going to tell us a whole lot that we don't know right now. And I'm looking forward to being down there a lot this spring. He may not let me on the field, but I'll sneak.
Well, no. You got a clean slate, I guess, right? Because I mean, he you got a clean slate now, right? That's why I said
he don't know me.
That's what I'm saying. You got a clean slate. So in last year, so you were being critical of last year's staff, so it's a little bit different now. There's new staff, right? But
I wasn't. Listen, I was
it was
that
that one video. But no,
the one that got 200-some thousand views.
Hey, I didn't say it's not about that though. I think it might have pressed.
But it
buttons.
was because people agree with me.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not naming people, but there's a lot of people in the program that also agree. But it was a little harsh in their eyes. All I'm saying is this. So I think you have a point now. With them bringing in Will Rogers, they still, obviously, I think they still like Austin Mack, but maybe not necessarily think he's ready just yet. Because, again, you got to remember, I don't know if you know this, but he reclassified. He's another one of those young guys. So technically, last season while he was a freshman at Washington, he was supposed to be a senior in high school, if I'm getting that correct. So he still is young. So technically, this upcoming year would be what is supposed to be his actual freshman year, but instead it's his redshirt freshman year because he came a year early. All right, boom. I do believe that they have a lot of faith in Milroe just off of what they've seen from him on film, right? I'm sure they've gotten to know him. Milroe is an extremely likable guy. I'm sure they respect him. They're excited to get to work with him. I wouldn't say his job isn't secure. I will say, though, that I would not be shocked if, and like you said, they're not going to flat out just say that, but they're going to be keeping their eyes open, especially during these practices, right? And this is why I think that they brought in a guy like Will Rogers, right? Will Rogers and Jalen Milroe aren't even remotely close, right? Even Penix and Milroe, they're not very similar. And we talked about this last week. If we're calling a spade, he's not necessarily the best fit for this scheme, and vice versa, right?
Change everything, which he said himself,
right?
Not my words, but Kalen DeBoer words that, hey, I make my system fit the skill set, the talent of my quarterback.
Right.
That's what he said.
He did say that. However, you're talking about his offense is kind of been his bread and butter now. His offense is what's got him this Alabama job. It's what's provided him this success. Because again, if you go back and look, the defenses, Washington, it's not like those were, he's an offensive guy. That would be like asking like Kirby Smart to change his whole defense based off of
Roll Tide. Let me tell you. Hey, all I'm gonna say, I know we got to get out of here, but Roll Tide better watch his back. That's all I'm telling him. He better listen, Austin Mack is that guy.
I saw him throwing the other day too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was walking through the complex and he was in there throwing. And at night, it was I left the basketball game, I think, and he was in there throwing in the indoor. So that dude was in here working.
He got a rocket.
Move your phone, man. Goodness gracious. God, he did have a big arm. I only saw him throw a couple passes. One was a little off. The other one was pretty accurate.
Don't be like Joseph. Joseph in the Bible, his brother, boy, he told him about the dream. One day I'm gonna be over y'all, and next thing you know, that dude was sold in the spirit. Austin Mack might be the dream stiller. Let me just tell you. Roll Tide got a dream.
Don't forget about a guy like Ty Simpson either. I mean, he's going to have another year to develop. I'm not saying it's an open quarterback battle. It's obviously the Milroe's job to lose.
No,
he's
it's
the guy. We're going
to talk about this tomorrow. We got to pick this up tomorrow. It's going to be a quarterback battle.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Wow. Roll Tide. I'm about Jalen Milroe. I'm going to tag on preach to the top of the hill. That's why he should be the starter. But if I'm being honest, Kalen DeBoer might quit. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Chris developer Noah Rogers. I'm Corey Miller, the pastor. Thank you. Listen to the Miller's Edge right here on the Tide. 100.9, 1230 AM WTBC. Coming up next, Ron Fowler. Get yourself in the game. Peace.